Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I urge you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in our great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you each and every Monday night at 7 p.m. This is a great show. We have a great show lined up for you. But first, I urge everyone, get involved in the show. Record your personal video questions, and you can submit them to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In line. That number will be right here on our screen below. Record yourself. Ask any pertinent real estate question. We'll review the questions, and you might have an opportunity to have your question answered live on the show. As always, my co-host is not only the co-founder of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, but he is also one of the foremost real estate advisors, brokers, and educators anywhere in the great state of Texas. He'll join me every Monday night where we will not only field but answer questions from agents, buyers, sellers, and owners from all over the United States and abroad. I want to introduce to our audience my co-host, Mr. Michael G. Davis. How you doing, Coach Mike?
What's going on, baby? It's Monday. Let's go.
Come on, man. It's Monday Night Live, baby. How you doing, Coach Mike? How you been?
I'm telling you, man, we make Mondays good. You know, boys don't be looking forward to Mondays, but we look forward to Mondays, man, because we're able to do the show.
No, I love Mondays, man, because coming off of every weekend, the energy for real estate professionals and realtors is always at its crescendo on Monday. So if you don't mind, please share with our audience everything that's going on this weekend for Coach Mike and Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm.
Man, we had a phenomenal week. Oh, man, let me tell you. So, you know, we do our Real to Life podcast and our Mastermind Through Tough Times. So we did that on Tuesday. It was fire. And then we brought in good friend of ours, man. He's an inspector, Mr. Donovan Harvey. Brought in some good grub at our Lunch and Learn, and he talked to us about what we need to be looking up forward to when hiring an inspector, you know, what kind of standards that we should be setting for our client. So we did that on Wednesday. Followed that up with a great Meet the Broker. We do that once a month where we'll let people come into our coaching and training center, ask us whatever questions. So we had a young lady come in, had some fire questions. I'm actually meeting with her. So I mean, you know, we just really look forward to providing value to the marketplace and putting our events out there, man. So I'm just super duper excited, bro.
You know, that's one of the things that I've always been impressed with when it comes to how you market the brokerage and how you market your services and your tutelage as a broker, is that you're so accessible to everyone, affiliates, members, even those who are just thinking about getting involved in real estate. And I urge everyone in our audience to take advantage of Coach Mike as a resource. Take advantage of all of the learnings, the training, the real estate masterminds, because I think if you have not had an opportunity to sit in on one of those sessions, you'll be shocked at the type of valuable information that is passed from business professional to business professional.
Absolutely, man.
And you know,
we're giving them the game, Rick D, man. So you better tell them. I know when I first got, I don't know about you, bro. When I first got in this business, it wasn't nobody out here being as accessible as we are, man.
And you know, and that's one of the things about the Monday Night Live call-in show. And if you are checking us out on our Facebook page at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, please get into the comments, submit a live question. Let us know what you're thinking, because this show isn't about myself. It's not about Coach Mike. This is a show for our audience. So everyone, please do not be shy. Engage with us all, man, because we have some really great questions already teed up from people who've been submitting questions all week. But of course, if there's any questions that come along in the comment section that Coach Mike is just absolutely moved to have to speak on right now, we can do that in real time as well. So Coach, man, you know, this ship can move kind of quick, man. So let's strap in, man, because I know we got some heavy questions this week. You ready, brother?
Hey, man, got my seatbelt on. I'm ready to go.
Man. Let's check out our first question.
All right.
This is Terry from Humble. In this competitive market, how do we consult and guide our buyer clients with offers, with making offers?
Woo, Rick, let me tell you, man, it is competitive out here, but you got to say that. It is super duper competitive. And you know what? Recently, man, I guess about a couple of weeks ago, man, we did that multiple offers training where we kind of addressed this a little bit on, you know, you get into that catch-22 of, well, you want to put your client in the best situation to get accepted, but then you don't want to put them in a situation where they're vulnerable. And it's like, how do you balance between the two? I think the reality, Rick, is what you got to do is you just got to be honest with the client, you know, educate them, get them to understand what the current climate is. And then you, in essence, you provide the information and you know, give them the best data for them to make the decision, right?
Absolutely.
So if it's one of those situations, hey, it's a multiple offer situation, we may want to consider putting more earnest money. We may want to consider foregoing, you know, the appraisal contingency. We may want to forego the inspection. Like, you know, those are options, but you gotta, as a professional, be able to explain the circumstances or the negative impact that may be caused when a client exercises one of those options to try to get the house. Definitely don't want people, because there are people coming in as buyers and they still feel like they have negotiating options, and you know, they feel like they have leverage as it relates to the negotiation, and that's not the market we're in right now. You know, is that to say that we're never going to go back to where the buyer has more leverage than they do right now? I mean, obviously it's a cycle, but right now it's competitive. So right now, the win is not getting the best price. The win is getting the house, getting picked, getting chosen. Right?
No, just to speak to your point, Coach Mike, could you speak to our audience about how you educate your buyer clients to the importance of the option period and the option deposit? Because a lot of that leverage that you're speaking towards, I think when buyers are properly educated as far as the power that they have with their option deposit, and the time that they have in that option period and all the things that they can do. Could you just speak to our audience a little bit about how you educate your buyer clients from that standpoint?
Absolutely. So, you know, if you have a great inspector like my man Donovan Harvey that we had brought into the office last week, that's accessible, that can probably do an inspection for you, say the next day or maybe the following day within a 2-day period. Then instead of going with kind of the standard time frame of 10 or 15 days in that option period, we may be able to get away with, say, a 5-day option period. Now, that looks very attractive to the seller, to the listing agent, because in their eyes, it's like, look, we just got to pull the market up, got to pull the house off the market for 5 days, right? It makes it a less risky situation. So there's opportunity there. And within those 5 days, at the end of the day, what you really want to do as a buyer, you want to get your inspector in there. He can get it done all of about 3 or 4 hours, get that report to you. I know Donovan, man, he get the report back to you the same day. You get that report back in the same day. Now we're talking about a 24-hour period. You still got a couple of days to negotiate if you want to. So it's kind of like you do, Rick, you do get the best of both worlds, right? You get that opportunity to protect the buyer, get that opportunity to have the inspection done, but then you also still have that opportunity to where the buyer is not put up on a ledge in the event that there is something majorly wrong with the house and the buyer doesn't know about it. So yeah, I definitely, when I'm talking to clients or I'm educating my agents as far as talking to clients, you got to be creative on how you structure things to still get the ultimate outcome that you want, knowing that we are in such a competitive market.
No, I mean, it's great because that information that you're providing is so invaluable, because there are a lot of new agents, some agents that have been licensed for less than 2 years who haven't been in a market in Houston that is so highly competitive. Right. So these small things that you're talking about that can make your offer stand out amongst the crowd, but at the same time still protecting your buyer clients, I think something is paramount that we need to keep in the forefront of our consciousness. So I thank you so much for answering that question, Coach.
And and I'll say this too, Rick D. I mean, one of the things is the buyer has to understand, you know, there is going to be a little bit of risk that we may have to take, right? So even if we put up $100, $150, $200, you know, for the option period, well, if we're giving them 1%, 2%, you buy a $300,000 house, you may be paying $6,000 for earnest money. That little $200 then saved you $5,800, right?
Absolutely.
So those are things that you have to get your client to be comfortable with. I mean, I get it. Nobody wants to lose money. I get that. Yet you want to have these parameters in place, and it may cost you some just to get in the game, right?
Right.
We're just not in that market right now to where we can be flexible as it relates to, I ain't paying, I'm gonna pay $50. There was time, Rick D, I would be like, we only paying $50. We paying $50 for 7 days, and we dare them to say no.
Right.
Right. We giving you $500 earners money, right? I mean, them days is gone. Now you better, and then you're not gonna get another chance. Like buyers think, well, this will be our initial offer. Like, no, this is your only shot. So you better come with the best thing. So I think at the end of the day, what we're saying, Rick, is that approaching the market and approaching making the offers, you don't want to take it for granted. Like, you really want to think through it with your client, think through it, and let them know, hey, these are the risks. Which of these risks are you okay living with to put you in a position to where you can get this dream home that you're looking for? And then they just make a good rational decision based off of the information that you give them.
Oh no, it's outstanding, because I think sometimes highest and best can have differing meanings to different people. So the advice that you're giving all those new agents and those tenured experienced agents who are just dealing with a new market, I think is something that we all should add to our tool belt and implement at our earliest opportunity, man.
Absolutely.
No, that's only question one, brother. Look, if the questions keep coming in hot and heavy like this, we gonna be here, bro, because right now I think this is the time where, as real estate professionals, we have to be diligent in educating ourselves and sticking to our core fundamentals and making sure we keep in the forefront our fiduciary responsibility. So that's just something that we've always made as a foundation of our businesses, and I hope that we can pass those things along to our audience.
Absolutely.
You ready for question 2, Coach?
Hey, man, I'm rocking. Look, I got all night, baby. I got all night.
Let's get it going, man. Let's get to question 2, please.
This is Shantae from Tomball, and I have some questions that I would like to ask. Like, what if we have a buyer who call in and wants to look at a certain property, but they have not had the loan approval yet? Is that something that we should do? Should we go and meet them at that property, or should we get more information as far as connecting them with a lender?
Oh, okay. Wow. Now, look, Coach, this is a deep question, and I almost feel like it almost piggybacks on our last question about the competitiveness of the real estate market right now.
Yeah.
So please, what are your thoughts as far as this second question, as far as how to handle people who want to see properties but haven't been pre-approved by a lender?
They don't want to go through the process, huh, Rick? They want to put the cart before the horse.
That's how it seems.
Well, look, here's the reality, Rick. You really can't fault people that approach it this way. Like, a lot of buyers approach it that way. They're like, hey, first let me find something that I want, and then I'll start talking about how I'm gonna pay for it and things like that. And we've been kind of, as consumers, we've been kind of socialized like that, right? Like, when I go to the store, I don't determine before I walk in the store if I'm going to pay cash or credit. I don't even think about none of that stuff. I don't think about that stuff until I get to the register. I start going and picking out, what do I want? I got my list. I got, give me some bread, give me some milk, give me some water. That's what I do first. And then when I get up to the counter, I'm like, I'm not going to pay this cash. I'm going to use this debit. What I'm going to do, right? Or if I go to the mall and I'm trying to get me some kicks or some clothes, right? I don't care about how, I ain't thinking about that. I'm just thinking about, let me find something that I want. Even if I do want something, sometimes we go and you're like, you know what? I may not even buy nothing. Right. So we take that same mind frame. Buyers take that same mind frame when coming to buy a house. And the reality is that's just not how it works. So they need a professional like us to explain to them that that's not how it works. And then we just kind of show them why that's not the best way to approach it. Number one, kind of what you talked about, Rick, it's too much of a competitive market right now. You go out there.
And this is the thing, Coach Mike. Could you just tell everyone from the time that they submit a pre-qualification to the time it takes to submit docs and actually be qualified? Could you just speak to our audience about that time frame? And that's what makes it hard for someone in that position to get the home of their choice in such a competitive market.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point. I mean, it may run you. And again, I'm not a lender. I'm not a lender, but based on what I see, I mean, it may run you 1 or 2 weeks for you to go from pre-qual, like sitting down on the computer, putting your information in there, then running them, getting your bank statements, all that other stuff over to them, for them to pull credit, make an assessment. Yeah, at the least a week. So, it's stuff getting under contract 2 days, 1 day. Like it's, you're not getting that amount of time to do all of that. So you got to be ready to go. And here's the crazy thing, Rick D. I don't know why people feel like they need to know what house they want to buy before they go for determining what their buying power is. You don't even know. You don't even know if you can afford it, right? I mean, think about it, Rick. Why would I go shopping for something if I don't even know if I got enough money to pay for it? Who does that? None of us are doing that, right? Even if I don't know how I'm going to pay for it, I know if I got enough money to pay for it or not before I go out there looking, right? Exactly. But that's not how people are approaching when buying a house. Like they don't even care. Like, no, I want to find a house first. You don't know how much you could afford. You don't even really know. You may have in your mind how much you want to pay a month, but you don't even really know how that calculates to the total purchase price that you need to be looking at. So, Rick, outside of the amount of time that it would take for you to get approved, and that putting you in a bad negotiating position, not knowing if you can even afford it or not, right? Now you put it under contract, you got the earnest money there, you got your option money, then you go realize, oh man, I'm way off. Well, now you'd have just wasted $100 or $200 when you could have easily found that information out prior to even getting started. So to Shantae's question, her question was, when they ask about showing the home, looking at the home, I mean, I think that's really where we should come in and really begin to educate them on the process. Now, as you get seasoned, in this market, in prime real estate, Rick, I know you may have done this before. You get somebody on the phone and you start asking them questions like, hey, when the last time you checked your credit? And if they come back like, oh, no, we 800 credit score. All right, well, how long you been at your job? Oh, I've been here for 25 years. I'm about to retire. Oh, okay. Well, how much money you got saved, for down payment, things like that. Oh, yeah, we talk about putting 50% down. Well, hey, I think them people going to be all right, Rick. I think we can go ahead and take a look at this. Right. But even with that, though, the whole time I'm with them, I'm going to be trying to get them on the phone with the lender immediately, right? Yes. Because even though you got the credit, you got the money, you got the job, it shouldn't be an issue. The seller don't know you. You know what I'm saying? He's not just going to take your word for it. So we still need to have that paper, that black and white, so we can put it in front of the people. So there are going to be some times when you're going to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more lenient. But, if you're a newer agent, you ain't quite got the feel yet, right? Like me and you, we work with enough buyers, like we can feel it in our gut. Like our gut will be like, no, that's a waste of time. They going to hurt you. Or I'll be like, hey, this one good, man. Let's go with it. We'll deal with the particulars later. Like your gut will be able to tell you that. You're a brand new agent, you ain't there yet. So just go with the regular formula. Try to get them pre-approved first before you take them out there, start trying to show a bunch of properties. And they look at it, Rick, it's like, oh, well, you saying that because you don't want to waste your time, you don't want to waste your gas. And yet that got something to do with it. But the reality is that they don't want to waste their time. Right? You don't want them to waste their time. You don't want them to waste their energy, because people get frustrated. They can get frustrated with this process, and you don't want to make it worse for them. And then even if they was a pretty good client, if they get frustrated, they're gonna be like, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to do it no more. You don't want to put people in that situation.
And then also I agree with you, but then just to add on, a lot of times I try to explain to a lot of my buyer clients that if we find the home of your dreams, we need to be able to submit an offer on the spot. All formal offers must come with a pre-qualification letter or proof of financing.
Yep.
So what happens is a lot of times, I think once I explain and educate my clients to, we can't even submit an offer without having proof of funds, pre-qualification letters, pre-qualifications, etc. They understand the necessity for them to speak with the mortgage professional before we actually go out, because when we do find your 1 in a million, we need to be able to take advantage of that opportunity on the spot.
Absolutely. It puts it, look, it's in their best interest. And a lot of times that's all you have to do is frame it that way. Like, it's in your best interest that we do it this way, right? This is gonna improve your chances, it's the best thing for you. Absolutely, Rick.
Absolutely, man. Great answer, Coach, man.
Thanks, man.
I hope everyone in our audience is taking advantage and adding some of these tips and advice to their utility belt, because if you have not run into this issue yet, you will. And if you run into this issue all the time, I'm sure you could agree with Coach Mike and myself how over time and experience, you're able to handle those questions and able to educate people in a way that they can understand the process and you can be their guide. So,
Absolutely.
Man, that's 2 questions, bro. We got another one already loaded up if you're ready.
I'm ready to go, man. Come on, man. I'm on fire. Let's go.
All right. Let's get to question 3, please.
Hi, Coach Michael. It's Adriana from NRG area. I actually have a question for you. So I have a client who actually is about to get her Social Security tomorrow. The only issue is she's not the one with the money, her family is, but they're not the ones who have papers yet. So how would that work out for me, or them, better yet?
Whew, Rick, I guess you was right. We saving the best for last, huh, man?
No, I mean, that can sound like a really confounding problem for new agents and agents that haven't been as experienced in this Houston market.
Right.
Because of the diversity of nationalities, the diversity of national origins, the amount of expatriates, people who are transplanting, people who are moving to this country, long-term, short-term, and temporarily. These are kind of things that I think people are surprised that come across our desks a lot more than people think. So if you wouldn't mind, Coach, please give her some advice on how to handle those type of situations.
Well, here's the thing, man, Rick. This is where you got to make sure that you got a good lender or a good, we'll say a good roster of lenders, right?
Absolutely.
A good roster of lenders, because not all of them can do the same thing. So as a real estate professional, in addition to you always going out there to get new clients so you can get new business, you also need to be seeing new resources, new tools that you could tap into. There are individuals out there that they don't have a Social Security number, and where the whole Social Security number comes into play is that's how you build credit. That's how credit is created, how it's founded. It's through the Social Security number. So if you don't have a Social Security number, then you don't have a credit report. So now the lender doesn't have really anything to look at as it relates to credit. So that's where the challenge will come in. But there are some lenders that even though there are people that don't have a credit report, a Social Security number, they have what's called a tax identification number, or a TIN. Because the one thing about Uncle Sam, he gonna figure a way to get them taxes out of you. So he like, oh, you ain't got no Social Security number? That's cool. Let me give you this number right here so you can go ahead and pay them taxes. So there are some people that have what's called a TIN, and there are some lenders that actually will look at people with TINs based on the amount of money that they have, and they will qualify them for a loan. Now, are they the best interest rates? Of course not, right? Are they the ones able to come put zero down? No, they're gonna have to have some cash. But you'll be surprised, Rick, how many people have a lot of money. They've been really good at saving. They have a lot of cash. That they may not be citizens, they may not be born in this country, but they work. They're skilled, they're talented, they've created, they've saved money, and now they want to purchase a home. So, those opportunities and those options are there. So for Adriana's situation, what it sounds like, Rick, is that she has one person that she's getting the Social Security number, but she doesn't have the cash. And then you got the other people who don't have the Social Security number, but they have the cash. And how do you marry those two so they can buy the house? And again, you get you the right lender. Is it impossible for that to happen? No, it's not impossible. Do I know how to do it? No, because I'm not a lender. But I know what? I've met many lenders. I've done over 1,000 transactions. So I know it's somebody out there that has a program or a protocol that can make this thing work for them. And
that just speaks towards the importance of professional networking. To give another piece of advice, I would just urge Adriana to start researching lenders that have multilingual associates. What that does is show that they deal with international investors. Also, something that's that I think could work to her advantage as well as is getting involved in more real estate networking panels, events, mixers, because when you start meeting other real estate professionals, you will be surprised at the resources that are readily available. But I agree with you, Michael. Let's start off from a lender's perspective first. Do some research there. You'll be surprised online how so many lenders are specialized in working with international investors. I believe If you start there, you'll get all your questions answered. And I think it'll be a lot easier of a process than you anticipated, Adriana. So thanks.
Absolutely. I think that was a great answer as well, Rick. I mean, about the networking, it's key because that's how you figure out those partners, that network, how you strengthen that network. Because in addition to the lender, you have other services out there like homeward.com, ribbon.com. You have these Home Partners of America. Like you have these other individuals where if you have enough cash, if you're mitigating some of the risk, they'll buy the house on behalf of the client. Also, you have owner finance, right? You got enough cash, you can owner finance it. So there's a number of options out there where you run into a scenario or a situation as it relates to what Adriana has presented. It's just about making sure that you got an absorbent amount of tools in your toolbox as a realtor.
Right. And, that question from Adriana just motivated me to ask everyone in the audience, please record yourself asking Coach Mike a question as good as the ones we've been getting this week. You see the text line number at the bottom of the screen. Get involved, record yourself, send them in. These questions are so invaluable because you never can understand how many people in the audience are wondering and thinking the same things that you are on a regular basis. So please don't be shy. Get involved. Ask those questions. Submit them. If you're on our Facebook page, put them in the comments section. If you're not on our Facebook page, record yourself. Send them into the text line because this is why me and Coach Mike is here every Monday night. There is a need for real estate professionals to interact this way, to make sure we're providing the best possible service for everyone out there in the consumer community. And Coach, could you just talk about all of the things that's going on this week at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm for those who want to interact with us virtually and at the training center at 26 South Loop?
Absolutely, Rick. So another week filled of things that we have going on, right? Like, so tomorrow we have another phenomenal interview, the Real to Life podcast. So we stream that to Facebook, our Facebook business page, as well as our YouTube channel. Matter of fact, we're streaming this on our YouTube channel as well. So if you're on YouTube checking us out, you can put your comments on YouTube as well, and we could be able to address those questions live. So we're doing that on Tuesday. We have a training where we're bringing in a group, and they're going to be talking about the future of affordable home ownership. So they're going to be offering options, affordable home ownership options, maybe down payment options to really help get more people in homes. So we're going to be doing that on this Wednesday. It's going to be a lunch and learn. So if you want to eat, because we be getting down on the lunch and learns, Rick. So
Absolutely.
if they want to eat, they can come into the office at our coaching and training center. Or if you're not able to make it in, it is going to be one of those hybrid trainings where we're going to be simulcasting it, utilizing Zoom. Just make sure we have the RSVP link up. Make sure that you RSVP and you reserve your spot. And on there, you can let us know if you're going to be coming in person or if you're going to be doing it on the Zoom. Either way, we need you to RSVP so we can get you the information. So we're going to be doing that on Wednesday. And if you're already a Brooks and Davis agent, we're doing our third Wednesday new member orientation. So we're doing that where we get everybody taken care of. So if I've met with you, right, and if you're thinking about signing up, I would say go ahead and get that paperwork in so we can get you on to the next orientation so you can really hit the ground running, because that's when we can get you connected to everything. So we're going to be doing that orientation this Wednesday at 2:00. So if you're already signed up with us this Wednesday and you haven't done orientation, come get the orientation done so we can hit the ground running. And if you're thinking about doing it, let's go ahead and get that paperwork turned in so we can get you into this next one, because we do them every, the first and the third Wednesday. I wouldn't want you to have to wait till September before you can do the orientation. So we're doing that. And then finally on Thursday, we're doing our affiliate agent member study hall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is no other real estate company that I know that has a program like our affiliate membership program that's designed for people that are not licensed, but it's there to help you not only get exposed to what you're going to be doing on a regular basis once you get licensed, because the real estate schools, they're not telling you, they're preparing you to pass that test.
Right.
They're not preparing you to get out here in these streets and do this work. So we like, hey, the faster we can expose you to that stuff, the better for you. So on Thursday, and one of the things that we do is our study hall. So we're able to show live examples and situations to people, but we also work with them on the test questions, the challenges or the gaps that they may be having to prepare them for the exam. So that's something else that we do on our study hall. So that's going to be this Thursday at 6:00 as well, man. So yeah, we got a lot going down the road, brother. We stay busy.
Oh no, we do, man. We stay super busy. And I want to let everyone in our audience know, if you are an aspiring realtor, real estate agent, or you're studying towards your real estate license, visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. You can learn everything you need to know about joining the team at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, how to get involved with Coach Mike, and how you can be mentored throughout the entire licensing process. So please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're a buyer or a seller interested in commercial or residential real estate, visit my Instagram page at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can schedule your new client consultation by clicking on the link in my bio. Click on the link in my bio. Please put in some small information, email, contact time, and a cell phone number, and I will reach out to you directly to answer any of your question about listing your property or buying a new property. Because as always, we are only an inbox, text, or DM away. Coach Mike, man, is there any final message you want to send out to our audience before we wrap up this week of Monday Night Live with Coach Mike?
Absolutely, man. But look, Rick, before I shut it down, and I say my final comments, I mean, they call you Prime Real Estate Rick for a reason, man. Don't you guys have a show coming up this week or something you want to tell me about?
And thank you so much for inviting me to share that message with the audience. As always, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, and I host the Prime Real Estate Network podcast every Thursday at noon Central Time on Facebook and Instagram Live. You can check out the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. If you would like to see a full version, you can always check us out every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central at the Prime Real Estate Network YouTube channel. Follow the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube, and you can also follow the Prime Real Estate Network Instagram page at Prime Real Estate Network. So thank you so much for that, Coach Mike, man. Absolutely, man. It's great doing this with you every Monday night, brother, man.
Absolutely.
I hope
All
our
right, so here are
audience
my
is
final words.
gaining.
So
I
here are
hope
my
the
final
audience
words.
What's your final words, brother?
Here are my final words. Here are my final words. Look, I gotta look in the camera. If you are in the process of getting your real estate license, or maybe you're with a brokerage firm and you're considering making a change, I invite you, I encourage you, visit this link and schedule an in-person company introduction with me so you can learn more about how we support our agents. We are serious about our agent support program. It involves one-on-one coaching. It involves mentorship. It involves training. It involves just all kind of support. So I encourage you, I invite you, visit the link, come learn more on how we can help you take your business to the next level, right? With that being said, Rick, that's what I got for the people today on Monday, man.
Hey, man, it's been live just like it is every Monday night, brother, man. It's great doing this show with you. I can't wait to see you next Monday night, man. Great. Best of luck to you this week, brother, man. Let's stay on grind, baby. Let's make it happen.
You too, bro. You too.
Absolutely.